Many men still don't realize they possess the characteristics of a Sigma male, and some men never acknowledge that these traits have always been within them. There isn't a single definition for what defines a Sigma male, but there are some unmistakable signs that set them apart from other men, from their deep thought process to their independent nature. It's easy to identify when a man is a Sigma. Here are 12 unmistakable signs that you are a Sigma male. Number 1. They treat everyone equally, regardless of social status. Sigma men don't need to impress anyone and don't care about social status. They treat everyone the same, whether you're a CEO or a janitor. They don't believe in hierarchy and place everyone on the same level. They have a strong sense of justice and respect and treat everyone with respect. To them, everyone has something to offer, regardless of their background or level of experience. Their egalitarian approach is refreshing compared to the competitive and hierarchical environment in many places. Sigma men don't need to compete or prove themselves. They just want to be judged by their accomplishments and be treated equally. Even though they may not be the most communicative people, they have a strong moral code and always strive to do what's right. Number 2. They don't share much about their lives. Sigma men are generally very reserved individuals who don't share much about themselves or their lives with others. They prefer to keep things to themselves to protect themselves from exploitation or betrayal. Those who are close enough to get a glimpse into a Sigma man's life are often surprised by how thoughtful and sensitive they can be. They take time to get to know someone before opening up, but when they do, they can be amazing friends. They may not be the most talkative people, but they are deep and insightful. Sigma men value their privacy and may seem distant or unapproachable. They prefer to observe and listen before speaking, which makes it difficult to get to know them. They may not share much about themselves, but they are very attentive and aware of the world around them, picking up on nuances and social dynamics more quickly than most people. Number 3. They are capable of leading, but they don't seek it. They possess all the qualities of a great leader, but they don't seek attention or leadership positions. Sigma men prefer to stay in the background and observe rather than taking on a leadership role. They are fully capable of taking charge when the situation demands it, but they prefer to support those in the spotlight. The Sigma man leads more by example than by words, and their calm leadership can often be more effective than any verbal instruction. They may not be the ones taking the lead, but they have a strong sense of direction and are always ready to help when needed. Sigma men can be incredible leaders when given the opportunity, but they don't actively seek it. They prefer to work as a team and see everyone succeed rather than standing out and receiving all the recognition. Number 4. They think differently. Sigma men are often misunderstood because their thought process is unique and different from the norm. While the average person sees only one solution, a Sigma considers multiple approaches and possibilities for each problem. They enjoy perceiving situations from different perspectives, which leads them to find creative solutions that others might overlook. This way of thinking sets them apart and makes them stand out. People who think outside the box may struggle to adapt to those who don't understand their unique viewpoints. When two Sigma personalities meet, they understand each other's thought process without explanation. It's as if they have a secret language that only makes sense when spoken between them. Number 5. They hate being told what to do. Sigma men dislike when someone uses authority to issue orders. They prefer autonomy and make their own decisions without the influence of others. While they may take advice from someone they trust, they don't like others making decisions for them. They don't react well when they are overly controlled or forced to follow orders they don't agree with. This doesn't mean Sigma men are rebellious, but they don't follow pointless or outdated rules just because everyone else does. When it comes to decisions, they rely on their own judgment and instincts. They prefer to question the status quo rather than blindly follow the crowd. This often puts them at odds with authorities, leading to tensions and conflicts. However, they won't change their views just to please others. While Sigmas don't seek trouble, they won't hesitate to stand up for their viewpoint when necessary. They have an independent spirit and follow their own path in life, even if it means swimming against the current. While they value harmony, they prioritize integrity and authenticity above all else. Number 6. They avoid large groups. Large groups can be extremely stressful for Sigma men, as they are often filled with noise and chaos. While an alpha might thrive in such scenarios, Sigmas typically prefer not to be in the spotlight. They don't need attention or validation by being the focus, so they often steer clear of large groups. Instead, Sigma men prefer smaller gatherings where they can get to know people on a deeper level. They need space to think and reflect, so large groups are often too overwhelming for them. Often, after attending a big gathering, they need some alone time to recharge. They simply don't have the same energy or enthusiasm for large groups as alpha men do. This doesn't mean Sigmas can't function in these settings, just that their energy depletes more quickly than their alpha counterparts. Although Sigma men don't need to be the center of attention at a party, they can still contribute significantly to any conversation. In fact, their thoughtful reflections and deep perspectives often add a lot of value to a discussion. Despite their preference for smaller gatherings, Sigma men can still appreciate the occasional large event for its social dynamic. Number 7. They are authentic and unapologetic about it. Sigma men don't apologize for their unique perspectives or unconventional lifestyles. They don't feel compelled to explain why they do things differently than others. Sigma men don't try to impress or boast. They simply live their lives and are who they are. They don't care what others think of them and don't feel obligated to conform to fit in. This sets them apart from the majority without even trying. Sigma men feel comfortable in their own skin and don't try to be something they're not. They understand that their opinions and ideas may not always be accepted, but they refuse to change to gain approval. They value their differences and the beauty and uniqueness that each one possesses. They strive to find their own path in life without needing to apologize for it. Number 8. They are introverted, but highly adaptable and open. While Sigma men are often considered introverted, they have an incredible ability to adapt to any situation. Their calmness and reserve don't prevent them from being open to new experiences. They can easily switch between different environments and social situations. Sigma men are not constrained by the same limitations as other introverts. They may not be the most extroverted individuals, but they can easily integrate into different groups. Their openness and flexibility allow them to learn from any situation, no matter how uncomfortable it may be. They don't shy away from difficult conversations or confrontations. Instead, they use these moments to deepen their understanding and gain insights into the thoughts and emotional world of others. Their introversion gives them space for reflection, making them more adaptable and open. Although some people may find these traits intimidating, Sigma men are extremely valuable in a variety of situations. Number 9. They are very independent and value their freedom. Sigma men value their freedom above all else and seek independence. They don't like feeling restricted or obligated to do something, so they often strive to preserve their freedom. Sigmas need the freedom to explore, create, and discover new perspectives. They don't like being constrained by rules and regulations. They require space to think for themselves and make their own decisions. They don't follow the mainstream. They prefer to chart their own paths and create their own destinies. They don't feel compelled to adapt or belong, which makes them incredibly unique. Their independence can sometimes be misunderstood as arrogance or aloofness, but it's simply a sign of their confidence and determination to do things their way. This sets them apart in a world where conformity often reigns. Number 10. They prefer to work alone. Sigma men like to work on their own terms and prefer to work solo. They don't like to be bombarded with other people's opinions, preferring to think, act, and work independently. This doesn't mean they don't like to collaborate with others, but they feel most comfortable when they have space to do things their way. They don't need constant praise or attention from others. All they need is a challenge and space to focus. They don't mind reaching out to help occasionally or working as part of a team, but they prefer individual projects that give them the freedom to work without interruptions. When Sigma men have the chance to work alone, they can achieve great results due to their ability to think outside the box and try different approaches. They don't need someone to guide them. They just need the opportunity to explore and experiment in their own way. That's why many Sigma men become entrepreneurs, as working alone allows them to express their creativity and pursue their passions without interference. Working independently not only boosts their productivity, but also fuels their innovative spirit. Number 11. They are solitary, but loyal to those they trust. Sigma men are often referred to as loners because they enjoy spending time alone. They don't need to be surrounded by people to feel fulfilled. While they may not be the most sociable individuals, Sigma men are incredibly loyal to their friends. Once someone earns their trust, they don't need many people in their lives, but those who are close will be treated with respect and care. They may not always show it, but those in their inner circle know they can count on them when they need help or advice. They don't enter relationships lightly. Once they establish a bond with someone, it's usually for life. They staunchly defend those who are important to them and make great efforts to protect them from harm. Although their loner status may make them seem distant, they can be very caring and compassionate individuals when known up close. Sigma men don't need many friends. They need a few good ones they can trust. This selective nature often means they value quality over quantity in relationships. Their loyalty and dedication to those they care about are unmatched, making them invaluable companions in life's journey. Number 12. They hate superficial conversations. They're not big fans of typical chats like, "How are you?" or "What did you do last weekend?" While an average person might see these conversations as an opportunity to connect with others, Sigma men find them dull and unproductive. They don't like shallow talks that lead nowhere. Instead of engaging in superficial chats, they prefer meaningful discussions that delve deep into various topics. They love discussing ideas, not people, and enjoy interacting with someone who can challenge their views. They don't care for conversations centered on gossip, drama, or trivial matters. They'd rather talk about significant issues that help them grow as individuals. Sigma men are often passionate about learning and, therefore, crave intellectual conversations that stimulate their minds. They can talk for hours about topics they find interesting and inspiring. They don't need someone for entertainment. All they want is a good conversation about something that matters to them. In essence, depth and substance matter more to them than surface-level interactions.